One of my favorite things about raising my own backyard chickens is waiting for them to lay their very first egg. So one of the first signs I actually started to notice was their combs and their wattles.
When the chickens are young, their combs and wattles are usually pretty small. They're kind of pale in color. Some could almost look like a light pink or even a yellowish orange or even slightly off-white. As their girls continue to mature, I start to notice a subtle change. Their combs and wattles start slowly become larger, and the color starts changing from that pale pink to a deeper pink. At first, it's easy to look at because the changes happen gradually over time, but when you go back and compare some of the older photos to the recent ones, the difference becomes obvious. As they get closer to that laying age, their combs and wattles continue to grow, and the development is much deeper red, as you see in this video. So not every chicken develops at the exact same time, the same pace. Some breeds mature faster than others, but this is one of the earliest signs that told me the girls are ready and getting ready to lay their eggs. Another sign I started to notice was something called squatting. As the hens get closer to the laying age, they often lower themselves down, spread their wings open slightly when you walk by, or gently reach towards them. It's a natural behavior related to maturity, and once they show that sign, that means they're ready to start laying eggs at any time.
So another sign you'll notice is the chickens are starting to take more interest in the nesting boxes. And the reason why they do that is they're kind of searching out to find a place that's safe where they could start laying their eggs, because they're thinking they're going to be laying eggs and hatching little baby chicks. So in their mind, they're preparing to find a nice little safe corner. That's where they go into the nesting boxes. If you see in one of my previous videos, I'll put it up on the screen, talking about basically when's the best time to bring your chicks outdoors from your indoor brooder. You'll notice that I have the nesting boxes all covered up, because if they start getting in there when they're younger, they get those bad habits. And like, as I always say, chickens are good with routine. If you teach them a routine, they're very good, and they could follow that routine very well. But if they start learning bad habits like roosting inside the nesting boxes, then they'll start bringing some dirt and mud in there, and they'll also start doing their droppings in there, which just makes a mess. And nobody wants poopy eggs, because when you go to eat an egg and you look at it and it has stuff all over it, you're like, oh, this is kind of gross. Or if you try to give eggs away, people are like, what is that? So anyway, it's really good to keep them covered when they're younger, but when they start showing interest, you want to take those covers off. So you see the signs that their wattles and their combs are starting to swell up. They're getting nice and red. And then you also start seeing them starting to squat, spreading their wings open. They're following you around, all around your feet all the time. So that's when you want to start uncovering those nesting boxes. One huge benefit I learned was to use these pads. These are actually nesting pads. They're made out of Astroturf, so they're actually really easy just to hose off if they get dirty, and they fit right into the nesting boxes like that. And basically, it's really amazing because they're nice and comfortable for the chickens. And what I do also is I found these online. These are ceramic eggs. I got brown, and I was like, let me get white. And come to find out, I actually have a chicken that lays white eggs. There's one right here, and this one's almost white, but it's like a cream color. So anyway, so let me open one of these egg containers here, and you'll see how really good they are as far as like even as in scale, like size. So this is the ceramic egg right here, and this is actually a real egg. And look how close they are. So what happens, that gives the chickens a visual cue. If you start putting a couple eggs in the actual boxes, this works out so well, because once they get that visual cue, it's like it just all falls into place. So also what I do is, along with these pads with the eggs, I actually put some cut straw. And what they like to do is they go into the cut straw. Just bring it out here. They go into the cut straw and they like to make it in a circle, kind of like a nest. And the next thing you know, boom, you got some eggs. And it's awesome how it works. Look at these beautiful eggs. Look at this beautiful green and brown. This is every day, getting tons and tons of eggs. So basically everybody has their own setup they kind of develop. This is something that really works well for me, and I want to make sure that I pass along the information to help you guys that are expecting new laying chickens, new chickens that are laying eggs. Look at that. Look at these colors. This is like blue and this one's bright white. I'm going to put a link in the description below to let you know all the different items that I have, so it's easy for you to find. But I really enjoyed making this video, and I can't wait to hear some of your stories. Leave some stuff down in the comments if your chickens are already laying eggs, or you think they're just about laying eggs, or if you have any questions. My email's in the description, so I guess I'll see you on the next one.